Germany had the ball for almost the entire match. They controlled it. They dominated it. They attacked for 120 straight minutes, and they still went home. Because the whole time Germany thought they were in control, Paraguay were quietly setting a trap. One so well disguised that the four-time world champions didn't realize they were beaten until it was far too late. 4 World Cups. 4 stars on the shirt. Knocked out in the round of 32 by a team almost nobody gave a chance. And the way Paraguay did it is one of the smartest game plans you'll see at this entire tournament. Before we dig in, I'd really appreciate it if you took a quick second to subscribe. Alright, let's get into exactly how Paraguay pulled this off. Boston Stadium. The round of 32 at the 2026 World Cup. On paper, this was supposed to be a routine afternoon for Germany. Look at the firepower they brought. Leroy Sané, lightning down the wing. Florian Wirtz, one of the most gifted creators on the planet. Kai Havertz, a striker stacked with medals. And behind them all, Neuer, a goalkeeper who literally rewrote what the position could be. This was a machine engineered to dominate the ball, smother the opponent, and grind teams into dust. And across from them stood Paraguay, La Albiroja, a side most people had already mentally penciled in as a speed bump. But here's the thing nobody accounted for. Paraguay had a coach who doesn't fear teams like Germany. He hunts them. Gustavo Alfaro built his entire career on one cold, almost arrogant idea. Give the opponent everything they think they want, and quietly take the only thing that actually matters. He was perfectly happy to hand Germany the ball, the territory, the possession stats, all of it, because the ball was the bait, and Germany couldn't help themselves. Here's exactly how the trap worked. From the very first whistle, the game fell into a pattern, and that pattern was the trap in motion. Germany had the ball. Germany always had the ball. They passed it side to side, front to back, hunting for the crack that would split Paraguay open. But you have to stop watching the ball to understand what was really happening. Because Paraguay weren't chasing it. They were containing it, channeling it, steering Germany exactly where they wanted them to go. Wide, slow, and harmless. Every time Sané got on the ball out wide, 2 men closed him down before he could lift his head. Every time Wirtz tried to slip into those dangerous little pockets between the lines, a Paraguayan was already standing in the space, waiting. Every cross aimed at Havertz was read early, attacked first, and cleared by Orlando Gil and that back line. Germany passed it around and around and around, and the trap held, no way through, none. And this is the part people get wrong about football like this. They call it boring. They call it negative. They call it parking the bus. It is none of those things. What Paraguay did took ferocious discipline, 11 players moving as one organism, holding their shape, swallowing wave after wave of the most expensive attack in the tournament, and never, ever panicking. That's not the absence of a plan. That is the plan. And then right before halftime, the trap showed its teeth for the first time. The team doing all the defending scored. The team doing all the attacking didn't. It came from one of Paraguay's only corners of the entire match. They'd barely set foot in Germany's half. And suddenly, danger. The outswinger curled in, and Neuer, captain, legend, one of the best to ever do it, came off his line and punched it clear. Crisis over. Or so it looked. But Paraguay didn't let the moment die. They stayed calm, gathered the loose ball, recycled it patiently, and worked it back out wide. And then Matias Galarza stood up a cross so perfectly weighted it should be framed and hung on a wall. And there, completely unmarked with acres of space, was Julio Enciso. He climbed, he met it, and he buried the header. 1-0 Paraguay. Against the run of play. Against 4-time world champions, against every expectation in that stadium. And that single goal is the whole philosophy in miniature. You don't have to dominate to win. You defend like your life depends on it. You absorb everything. And when your one chance finally comes, you make it hurt. Paraguay had barely touched the ball in a threatening area all half. Didn't matter even a little. They walked into the break in front and Germany walked off rattled. Now every trap needs the prey to keep coming. And after halftime, Germany came roaring back. Whatever Julian Nagelsmann said in that dressing room lit a fire. For about 9 minutes, Germany looked unstoppable. Florian Wirtz drifted to the left, picked his head up, and delivered. And Kai Havertz did exactly what elite strikers do, attacked the ball, met it flush, and headed it home. 1-1, game on. And you could feel the whole night shift. Germany smelled blood now. And that was exactly the problem. Because the equalizer didn't break the trap, it deepened it. Germany, sensing weakness, threw themselves forward. And Paraguay did the single bravest thing a football team can do. They didn't flinch. They dropped deeper, and deeper, and deeper still, pulling Germany in, inviting the pressure right onto their own doorstep, daring this superstar attack to find a gap that simply was not there, and quietly waiting for the counterattack that the trap was designed to spring. Sané, Wirtz, Havertz, wave after wave after wave, and every single one shattered against the same red and white wall. The more Germany committed, the deeper into the trap they marched, and they had no idea. By now, this wasn't defending anymore. This was defiance with a purpose. As normal time ran down, Julian Nagelsmann gambled everything. He emptied his bench, throwing on every attacker he had, chasing one mission with everything he had left. Find the winner, avoid penalties, end it now. And deep in extra time, Germany thought they finally had. Jonathan Tah forced the ball over the line in a scramble. The bench leapt up. The crowd erupted. The winner, at last, no. Ruled out. A foul in the build-up, Waldemar Anton bundling into the keeper into Gill before the ball crossed the line. Wiped off. Gone. And you have to wonder what flickered through German minds in that instant. Whether, somewhere deep down, they finally started to sense it. That this was never going their way. That they'd been walking into something all night long. Because here's the cruel genius of the whole thing. When you cannot break a wall in 120 minutes, the game drags you to the one place where all that possession, all that talent, all those superstars count for absolutely nothing. The penalty spot. The final jaw of the trap. Germany chose to shoot first, right in front of their own fans. A statement of confidence. Take the lead, pile on the pressure, make the underdogs crack. It went wrong from the very first kick. Kai Havertz, the man who'd scored their equalizer, stepped up first, and Orlando Gill guessed right, threw himself across his goal, and saved it. The wall had become the hero, and in that one heartbeat the trap snapped fully shut. Every ounce of pressure Germany tried to manufacture came crashing straight back onto their own shoulders. What followed was pure chaos. Back and forth, kick after kick, nerves shredded to ribbons, misses on both sides. Every walk to that spot was the longest walk of a player's career. Every strike carried the weight of an entire nation, until it came down to one man. José Canales. For the win, for the upset of the tournament, for history. Cool as you like. He buried it. Goal. Paraguay had done it. 3-4 on penalties. The giant was slain. Germany, 4-time world champions, were out of the World Cup, and they never even saw it coming. So let's be honest about what we just watched, because lazy people will call this a fluke and move on. It was not a fluke. It was not luck. It was a trap, designed and sprung to absolute perfection. Gustavo Alfaro looked at the most talented attack in this entire tournament and made a ruthless, calculated choice. Hand them the ball. Hand them the possession. Let them feel like they're winning. And quietly build a structure so disciplined, so suffocating, that all that talent had nowhere to go. Germany had the ball. Paraguay had the plan. They took their one chance from one of their only corners. They survived the storm. They lured Germany deeper and deeper. And when it all came down to the spot, Orlando Gill stood tallest of all. One save, one header, one ice-cold finish. That's the razor's edge between flying home heartbroken and writing your name into history. That right there is what a perfectly laid tactical trap looks like. And Germany walked into every inch of it before they ever realized the game was already lost. And here's the best part. It isn't over. La Albiroja march on. Next stop, Philadelphia, on the 4th of July, where they'll meet the winner of France versus Sweden, with a place in the deepest rounds of the World Cup on the line. This is a nation that's never had a night quite like this one. A team that just proved on the biggest stage in the world that you don't need the most talent. You need the smartest plan, the iron discipline to execute it, and the nerve to suffer together for as long as it takes. Germany came in as giants. Paraguay set the trap. And the giants never saw it close. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you. Genuinely. And if you enjoyed this one, I'd be really grateful if you'd take a moment to subscribe. It means a lot, and it's what keeps these breakdowns coming. Drop a comment too. Can Paraguay actually go all the way? I'll see you in the next one.